It's related to my wife. Many of you probably know Boots Heatherton. Boots, you want to stand up? Boots is with the team. And I know he's working hard because I don't get to see him anymore. I saw him quite a bit in the last few years, but not this year. I want our Department of Agriculture to be more about tractors, whether they be red, green, or orange, than to be about desks. That's why I think the Pennsylvania Farm Show is a wonderful place to be. One of the reasons that immediately after the farm show, opening the doors, getting some fans in to help out, we had our inaugural ball in the farm show. Now we decorated it a little bit different. You wouldn't have recognized it if you went inside afterwards. But it's one of the reasons we went there, is to try and keep that connection to the agriculture industry. The farm show is a window to what holds our nation through agriculture together. It's also what makes agriculture so great. As I flew up here, I couldn't help but think how fertile our land is. But so is the soil of many lesser nations. We have great science helping our farmers. But science doesn't turn the soil, it doesn't feed the cattle. We have stayed in business, in the business of farming, because our farmers have kept, you have kept, farming with faith and with practice. And with practice, it goes back to the days of William Penn. You use common sense. You use business principles. And you understand that the earth will give back tenfold the seed and water, and yes, the sweat that you put into it. You know this fundamental truth. This fundamental truth is you can't spend more than you have. I know you know that with your budgets. You can't spend more than you have. You understand budgets. You understand deadlines. Sometimes those deadlines are artificial. And sometimes those deadlines are created by the weather, by the seasons. And you know that you have to keep a schedule. Well, I took a cue from that when I first stepped into office. I took a cue from your common sense as a farmer in crafting a budget this year. I just want you to remember we had 6 weeks to craft and propose a budget. We had a few more weeks after the legislature got up to work with them. But I'm very proud of the men and women in here from the legislature and from our administration. We got a budget done on time for the people of Pennsylvania. It wasn't an easy budget. It's not a budget any of us wanted to do. But keep in mind what I said before, you can't spend more than you have. And when you have a $4.2 billion deficit when you walk in the door, you know you have a problem and you're going to have to deal with it. I want to see our state grow. And I can't think of any better place to start than with agriculture. And I know you are doing it. And we have many other ways of making our state grow. President Spaniard, Dean McPherson, I'm so pleased at what I hear you're doing up here, and actually combining to a certain extent the agriculture and the Marcellus Shale, because that is going to help grow the economy of Pennsylvania. It is going to grow jobs in Pennsylvania. And in truth and in fact, what this is all about is growing jobs for our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. But to do it the right way, to do it protecting the environment, but growing the jobs, come with the right balance. And that's what we're going to do. Working with the legislature, working with the commission that I put together under Lieutenant Governor Cawley, to have that industry as one of many industries that we're going to try and grow here in Pennsylvania. And create an environment that allows you, the farmer, you, the business person, to be able to grow the economy of Pennsylvania. Because the last time I looked, we in government do not create jobs. If any job we create, it's a government job. And paid for by the taxpayers. I want to see you create the jobs. And that's why this budget, frankly, was so difficult. Because we had to get our spending under control. It wasn't easy. And it may not be easy next year. But we will get it under control. And we will work closely with you. Make sure that your children can do what they want here in Pennsylvania. And for many of you who are farmers, I hope they want to take your place. I hope they want to stay on the farms. Grow the farms. Grow the food in Pennsylvania. I hope they want to stay in Pennsylvania, because we've lost so many over the years. We have seen that. But we have to do it by creating a state where we can grow the jobs of Pennsylvania. I promise that I'm going to work with you towards that. I promise that I'm going to work with the business community and with the education community towards that. And I also promise that we're going to bring fiscal discipline to my administration as to how we spend the money, and to spend the money only that which we have. So thank you. I look forward to seeing you out on the fairgrounds. I look forward to seeing you out at the various fairs. I know we have the range fair coming up here pretty soon. And I've been